Drainage means the river system in a particular area. A river system consists of the total area covered by the tributaries and other water bodies that join the main river. Similarly, a drainage basin is an area drained by a single river system. This eventually drains into a large water body, such as a lake, sea, or an ocean. The drainage basin works as a funnel by collecting all the water within the area and channeling it into a waterway. If you look at this natural mechanism closely, you will observe that river water flows downhill. For example, if you notice the river Ganga, it flows down from the Himalayas along the northern plains, collecting water from all its tributaries along the way, and finally draining into the Bay of Bengal. Incidentally, the Ganga basin is the largest river basin in India. Did you know? The largest river basin in the world is the Amazon River Basin. Along the path of a river, the landscape is not always even. You will see upland or mountain ranges separating two drainage basins. This upland area is known as a water divide or the drainage divide. For example, if you trace the Ganga upwards, you will come across a tributary of the river, the Son River. The elevated area that you see in between is the Kaimur range, and hence this area can be called as a water divide. Drainage systems in India can broadly be categorized as Himalayan rivers, and peninsular rivers. What do you think are the key differences between the two systems? As you can see, the Himalayan rivers are fed by the snow melting from the mighty Himalayas and also seasonal rains. And hence, these are perennial rivers. Himalayan rivers travel along the way from their source towards the sea. Along their way, they cut deep gorges, resulting in scenic views. The valley seen here is formed by the Ganga in the mountainous regions of Devaprayag in Uttaranchal. These rivers also cause massive erosions along their path and carry loads of silt and sand along the upper courses. In the middle and lower courses, they cause meanders and oxbow lakes. On the other hand, peninsular rivers originate in the central highlands of the peninsula and depend solely on the rains, and therefore are seasonal. For example, the Govali, which flows into the Mandovi River in Goa, runs dry during the summer. during the dry seasons. Even large rivers have a reduced flow of water in their channels. These are also shallower as compared to the Himalayan rivers. The Narmada is a large peninsular river that originates in Madhya Pradesh. As seen here, the Narmada has a reduced flow during the summer season. Now let us look at different drainage patterns that are formed due to drainage basins. The four main patterns that you will notice are dendritic drainage, rectangular drainage, trellis drainage, and radial drainage. The dendritic drainage pattern develops when the river follows the slope of the terrain. As you can see, the stream with its tributaries resembles the branches of a tree. Hence, the name dendritic. For example, the drainage system formed by the rivers draining into the Bay of Bengal. On the other hand, a river joined by its tributaries at approximately right angles develops a trellis pattern. For example, the Parana River in Brazil. This type of pattern develops when hard and soft rocks are present parallel to each other. Another type of drainage pattern is the rectangular drainage pattern, which develops on a strongly jointed rocky terrain. On this type of terrain, the streams follow the easiest available course and thus get concentrated in the areas where the exposed rocks are the weakest. For example, if you observe a satellite image of one of the rivers in Georgia in the United States, you will clearly notice the rectangular drainage patterns. The next type is the radial drainage pattern and is very different from all the others. It has a central peak or a dome-like elevation from where the water flows in different directions. The Taranaki drainage system in New Zealand is a remarkable example of the radial drainage system. Here, Mount Taranaki is the central peak, from where the streams flow in different directions, forming a radial pattern.